Attention, ladies and gentlemen. Right away, you've got somebody blocked in. It's a Toyota. License plate is B. Again, it's a Toyota Camry. Looks to be maybe black. Toyota Camry. B is in boy. B is in boy. S is in Sam. 892. You got someone blocked? Would you please move that right now? Clear the court, please. Clear the court. All right. School in the high for the Step Classic against the Adair County Indians and your Woodford County Yellow Jackets. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get things started with the lineups, we have a special presentation tonight. Ed Step Classic in honor of Coach Ed Step.
You want to move that camera up here and try to do it ourselves?
Well, we may have to. It's all underneath it.
Tonight, and is the nephew of Coach Ed Step, and it's Jerome Gibbons. And this award is going to, this is the Ed Step Scholarship Fund, and it's going to Woodford's very own Leighton Starks.
Is it connected enough I can just load? Work right here.
Connected and stuff. I have to read.
We got to get a couple of pieces here.
Think we can move it without unhooking it?
I don't think so.
Let me see.
Last time we tried to do that, we broke something.
Congrats, ladies. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now for this. First for the visiting Adair County Indians. Number 1, Dawson Gilbert.
Welcome back in to Woodford County High School for tonight's fifth and final game of the Woodford County Ed Step Classic in honor of the late Ed Step, who is a Woodford County alum, and then also came in to coach here under Gene Kirk as the freshman coach. I was fortunate enough to play for him for 4 years and really had a great time learning the game of basketball and getting to my potential, or what I thought was going to be my potential. But it'll be Adair County and Woodford County. For the Indians, it's Isaiah Cochran. Along with number 1, Dawson Gilbert, number 20, Lane Grant, number 21, Brayton Coomer, and looks like number 14, I think, Connor Loy, I think, is the 5th starter for Woodford County. Leighton Starks, Jonte Joyner, Nolan Asher, Omari Jointer, and Thurman Wade. For the game, they had Ron Brown in his 4th year here at Woodford County High School as the head coach, and we have Starks moving in with number 21, Brayton Coomer to jump, and it'll be Woodford County and Adair County in the nightcap. A terrible toss by the official. Boy, it was horrible. That didn't get up any higher than 5'6". The officials, all the other pair laughing at the center official. They'll throw it up. This time, Woodford County wins the tip. Back goes Joyner to claim it in backcourt, and we're underway. Moving left to right on your viewing device. Woodford County in the row of the home white uniforms, Adair in the blue. This is Starks to Wade. Here is Joyner. Back to Wade. They leave him open. Hits Joyner on the right wing, down the lane.
It looked like he had a lot of arm.
Yeah, a lot of arm there. That was Coomer. And here come the Indians on the first try. And I forgot to change the scoreboard, Steve. I'm going to have to do that on the fly here.
We're doing a lot of things on the fly.
And we do that a lot.
I think the camera's a little cockeyed too, but
that's okay. The operator is too. Cochran has it roofed, but he gets it back, missed the shot, tipped it up, no good. Rebounded by Joyner. Well, we're going to do a lot of that stuff.
Sorry.
Here is Woodford County in the half-court offense, and it's man-to-man from the Indians of Adair County. Good, solid defense from the Indians right here, right now.
And they're backing off a few kids for Woodford, which is
Pretty common.
yeah.
Here's a deep three by Wade. Good.
Wade's capable of doing that. It's a good way to get started for them.
And it's 3-0 Woodford County. And if Wade can make that a consistent shot in his arsenal, he is very dangerous. Here's Cochran to answer, and he does. Tell you what, I got to give credit to Coach Jeffrey Breeze of Adair County. They stepped up when Bowling Green had to withdraw from the Ed Step Classic, and they said, hey, we'll take on the host school. Here's Joyner from 16, left elbow, no good. Cochran with the rebound. Got a pretty good team, too. They're #1 in the 5th region. Driving down is Coomer. He lays it in, and the Indians are up 5-3.
That's a good drive and not good recovery defense by Woodford.
Not at all. 5-3 Indians. Here's Starks. He'll shoot 3 straight away, and if you're Adair, you'll take that. Shot missed and rebounded by Grant. Here come the Indians. Indians played last night victorious over Campbellsville. Woodford County back played on Thursday night, and they knocked off Henry Clay. Here's Coomer. Good looking shot from 12, and the Indians are up
that's a nice
7-3. Jenkins drives, penetrates, left it short. Asher keeps it alive. Joyner has it, now to Asher. Back to Jenkins for 3, left wing, got it.
When he gets in rhythm, he's a good shooter.
Well, I will tell you this, too. Coach Jerron Brown just kind of lets his players shoot themselves out of a cold start. This is Coomer on the side over here.
Nice
and
left
Cochran,
hand.
boy, I tell you, he
That's a nice
is a
left
load
hand.
underneath.
Yeah.
9-7 in favor of Adair County. Here's Wade. Up on him is Gilbert. Around to Joyner. Joyner penetrates off the glass, too strong. Block out by Cochran. Here come the Indians. Cochran, right corner. 3 on the way for Gilbert. No. Rebounded backside by Joyner, and I believe that was Grant that got a hand on it to knock it away from Joyner. It rolled down his leg out of bounds.
Yeah, and I thought he got bumped a little bit.
Carter White, number 4 in blue. He has it in the right corner in replacing Gilbert. This is Loy. Pulls up 3 straight away, in and out. Everybody just watched it hit the floor, and it comes out to Loy. Here's Cochran. Cochran. Penetrate behind the back. Good job of moving his feet by Starks to cut him off. Fast-moving first quarter, 3:30, and they got Loy wide open for a layup.
Nice cut. Nice cut. Coach Brown's going to take a timeout.
Yeah, timeout. Woodford County on the early part of the ball game here. Woodford County really struggling to come up with loose ball. I think Coach Brown is really upset with his team's effort there because did a nice job of blocking out. Problem was they didn't go get the basketball. 11-6, Adair County. So Woodford County's head coach says, I need a timeout, and he takes it there to take care of it. (11-6) in favor of the Indians. The visiting Indians out of region number 5. This is a nice ball club coming in here that the Jackets are having to deal with. This is Joyner. Joyner on the dribble. Now it looks like they're 2-3, or are they a matchup zone? It looks like maybe a matchup zone from Adair. Here's Joyner on the near side. Now to Asher. Up they are man-to-man. Jenkins guarded by Grant. Here's Jenkins. Now to Starks, who's guarded by Coomer. Here's Wade. Deep three left wing. Way short. Bad shot by the freshman. Cochran pulls up at the head of the key. Turns back. Coomer, three. Good. Coach Ron Brown said, "Oh, thank you. We've got problems here." And it's a 14-6 lead for Adair. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Here's Jenkins. Three straight away. Got it.
Good shot. In rhythm, good shot for.
That's a big shot. Here's Grant down the lane to Coomer. Blocked by Starks.
Oh, sorry, y'all.
And a foul coming up on the senior. As a matter of fact, Starks is the only senior on this Woodford County roster this year. Coomer at the line, no good. Coomer is a 63% foul shooter on the year coming in. Thurman comes out as Wyatt Peters comes in, and Starks comes out, replaced by Davion Sturgis. Coomer goes 1 for 2 at the line. (15 to 9). Woodford County trailing by 6 for the basketball. Jenkins goes to the floor. We've seen a lot of people go down the floor on that particular side of the floor in that area, Steve.
Yep, all night. I mean, all day. Now we're into night. In case some of you didn't know, it's dark outside.
Took him all day to figure that out. Asher, jump pass in the corner to Jenkins. Had a shot and hesitated. Good job of recovering by Loy for Adair. Here's Jenkins straight away. Three again. Front rim, no. Cochran rebounds. Nobody underneath in a white jersey.
That's a
Cochran, high off the glass, no. Loose ball. Coomer picks it up. Gives it behind him to White. White in the lane. Coomer for three, no. Asher rebounds on the backside. Asher out to Peters. Fakes, can't get his shot off. 25 seconds to play in the quarter.
I think Woodford will take the last shot.
Do you think?
Yeah.
That might be that's a pretty good guess there, Steve. Go out on that limb.
Yep.
Here's Sturgis, 15-footer
wrong.
straight away, in and out, drops back through. 10 seconds to play. Here's Lloyd. Gives it back to Cochran. Deep three straight away. Yes, sir. That's one of those you say, no, no, no. Good shot. Joyner lets it fly as the horn sounds off the front of the iron. And the Indians of Adair County come in here and serve notice. They're here not just to be the sacrificial lamb for the host team, Woodford County. The Indians lead after one, 18-11.
We apologize a little bit of the camera stuff. I'm still trying to get set up right. And I'm trying to do two things at once. So
He can only do one at one time, and he still doesn't do that very good. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Woodford County Public Schools is our title sponsor. Where kids win, they have the Portrait of a Learner competency thing that they go through. Danny Atkins, the superintendent, he's very high on it. And the 5 competencies are simply the resilient learner, empathetic communicator, a reflective collaborator, a responsible contributor, and creative problem solver. WCPS believes strongly in the importance and significance that the Portrait of a Learner will play in the education of its students and is eager to embrace and implement this program as Woodford County Public Schools continues to be a place where kids win.
I think that looks a little bit more level camera angle now that we're about to get started in the second quarter here.
Agreed.
Could be Woodford's ball coming out. See if I can now do two things at one time. It'll be scary right here.
Yeah, Woodford's got to find a shot that's not contested. They pretty much every shot they attempted in the first quarter was contested.
Yeah, I agree. And
man, this man-to-man defense from Adair on the perimeter is pretty solid. 17-footer by Jenkins, good.
And I feel good about Jenkins. He seems to be in rhythm on his shot. Even the one shot that he missed was a solid shot in rhythm, and so I can live with that.
Loy lost control of it. Cochran rescued it out near the timeline. This is Carter White. New guy in the lineup is Blaine Barden. He is number 11 in blue. Jump pass in the lane to Cochran. Turn and put it over Sturgis. Good. Cochran comes in averaging 17 a game to lead the Indians in scoring. All right, second in scoring behind Lloyd. Drive by Joyner, yeah.
That's what he's really, really good at.
Very good at 20 to 15 now.
It's really how he gets his game started. And so I'm pleased with the fact that he's gone after that.
Looks like we've gone to the 3-2 zone, has Woodford County, with Jenkins in the middle of that. Loy will have it out near the timeline, goes down the right side to begin the offense to Cochran. Kind of comes to Barden. In the corner to White, back out all the way cross court to Loy. Cochran pulls up 15-footer right baseline.
Good pressure.
Left it short. Sturgis contested. Here's Joyner. Jackets have a chance to get within a bucket if they can score here. Peters will back it out. Woodford County has two freshmen, a pair of juniors, and a sophomore on the floor. This is a three by Peters. No good. Sturgis rebounds, put it up and in. That was just a gritty performance by Sturgis there to get the rebound. Here's Cochran.
Yeah, he just went aggressively to get the basketball. Yeah. And is giving Woodford a little energy here.
Now, Cochran never saw him coming. Sturgis came from the other side of the lane. Cochran for three. Boy, I tell you what.
Wow.
He's 6'7", folks, and if he can stretch the defense like that, Adair's got a chance to be in Rupp Arena come March. 23-17 Adair. Here's Peters. Peters checking the air in the basketball.
Well, Woodford gets in a habit of this, and you got to pass and move. That's when they're the best.
Here comes Joyner, crossover dribble. Back to Asher, penetrates. No, comes off. Sturgis, though, battling two Indians. And out comes Barden with the rebound for Adair. Here's Loy. Jackets right now having trouble scoring the basketball.
Yeah.
4:50 to play in the first half. Adair by 6. And that basketball in their possession. Cochran high post. He has Peters on him. A height mismatch. Peters got a hand in there, knocked it away. Back out to White. Penetrates, puts one up off the glass. Comes off of there. Rebounded by Jenkins. Camden Burton is the new guy in the lineup for Adair. And a foul on Loy. As he took it, as Jenkins did, took it to the glass. Loy wears 15 in blue. Jackets a little limited in their bench tonight. You do have Starks, Wade, and I believe another player in the front of the bench ready to come in. Jenkins' free throw is good. Yeah, we had Phillip Brown. Couldn't see him because he was sitting down in front of the table. Wade and Brown in. Joyner and Asher to the Woodford County bench. Again, the Jackets without the services of junior guard Santonio Wade. Still nursing that broken or fractured left hand. You talked to him tonight, Steve. Anything? Here's a steal by Brown.
I did. Good
Ahead to
pass.
Jenkins over
I need it.
Cochran. Didn't get it in. Rebound comes free
That's
off the
his
leg
knee.
of Lloyd.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I talked to San Antonio, and he just said really take it in sort of slow. I think it's smart. I mean, he's, to me, listening to some people, but he's 10, 12 days out from potentially being able to start playing again, and said they've told him shouldn't have any residual effects. So that's good, and that just gets you ready. Well, that gives you about a week or a couple games maybe before district tournament, so he can sort of get back into some playing shape and seem pretty upbeat about his prognosis.
I don't think you could ever get Santonio down, to be honest with you. He's very upbeat. Here's Jenkins for a deep three, left side, way off.
See how he rushed that one?
Peters gets the rebound, though. Brown took his eye off of it. Cochran down the lane,
Nice.
spin move, laid it in.
That's a sweet move.
Yep.
I know he may be their second leading scorer, but my goodness, man.
Wade gets a little carefree with the ball, taken away from him by Coomer. And here come the Indians again, up 7. High post, it goes to Coomer.
Oh, right, missed him.
And they had him back
back.
door. And
Yeah, there. You got to throw a bounce pass.
Yep. Peters all the way down, back to Wade in the lane, floater, and a charging foul.
Yep. And really easy call. He doesn't like it, but it's just an easy call. Again, I like the aggressiveness, and there was no indecision in that, but you got to know where defenders are. It's one of the reasons I know it's a common shot anymore, that floater.
Yeah.
But I hate it.
Lloyd, front court to Coomer, back to Cochran. They run off and leave him. And he really extends the court. You've got to come out and get him deeper than you would normal AKA 5 players. They pass down low to Grant. Oh, man, that should have been a foul. Holy cow. And now here's another turnover on Woodford County. Driving layup, no good. Rebounded by Joyner, who they should have called that first one a foul. Adair got the basket afterwards anyway. I don't know what the officials were looking at. I think that was Wade that got away with a hip check on the first one.
I think they were doing what I was doing. They were getting their camera readjusted to get the right angle.
Yeah, right.
Because they missed that. That was blatant.
Oh, man. We've had some pretty good officiating today through the 5 games, 4.5 games so far, but missed a couple of what we thought were intentional fouls in the girls' game.
Yep.
On both, one on each side. Peters to Starks in the lane from 7. Way off. Lord have mercy. That shot was awful. Here comes Lloyd. Bounce pass down low to Coomer, and Starks going to be called for his second.
And that's a killer. And
well, here's the thing about Adair, what you're seeing. They are sharing the basketball and looking for each other instead of creating for their own shot. Woodford's kind of being a little one-on-one. A little bit of one-on-one. And you can't do that against a team that is as well coached as this Adair team is.
I think when Woodford's bench was upset, they said he wasn't shooting.
Free throw no good by Coomer.
I think the bigger deal is no matter whether he's shooting or not, it's whether or not Starks just picked up number 2.
Yeah. Well, he's got 2. Davion Sturgis is in.
The last couple of games, to me, Starks is usually high energy, good rebounder. It just seems like he's
a little off.
And the bigger deal to me is about the high energy. That's what I need. I need him to get back to just, man, my job's to rebound, play defense.
Agreed.
And the scoring will come. And he can score off of rebounds. So let these guys like this.
Peters for 3. Got it.
Nice shot.
That's a big basket for Woodford County.
Yeah.
Needed to stop the Adair run.
And you let kids like that shoot, and then I'll worry about getting the rebound. Good hustle by Jenkins.
Yep, Jenkins takes it all the way down the lane. Comes off of there. Got to finish that one.
Yeah,
That's why you use the backboard, young folks.
and that's a good strong move too. But
Now, a lot of people will say, well, he shot that going straight down the floor in the middle of the lane. Doesn't matter. You can get it up on the glass. You got a better chance of it going in. Cochran going to pull it out with 45 seconds to play in the half. Woodford County trailing, as you see, by 7 right now. In the lane is Cochran. Lobs it down low to Coomer. Laid it in.
and he just kept holding. Is that Peters? He just kept holding him out.
Yep. Here goes Joyner in the corner to Peters. Wyatt's got to be ready to shoot. That's twice that he's had a teammate penetrate to kick it to the corner and he wasn't ready to shoot. Joyner down the lane. Are they going to call continuation? No. 30-21. Woodford down 9 with 14 seconds to play. Third foul on Adair here in the quarter, but there's not been a lot of fouls called in this game so far, so we're not anywhere close to being the double bonus. Joyner's free throw, good.
No, and the officiating sort of become the theme of the whole day. Is they've let a lot of stuff
Oh,
go.
we had
A
some
lot of-
physical games early,
Yeah, they've let a lot of stuff go.
and I think the physical game started with that girls' game. It was very physical. Joyner in and out, rebounded by Cochran. Gives it off to Loy. So Adair will get the final shot of the half, leading by 8. Coomer in the corner to White. 3, short. Rebounded by Asher. Gives it off to Joyner, who lets it fly. 3/4 of the court, hits the back of the rim. 30-22 at halftime. In what has been to be honest with you, a clinic put on about how to share the basketball in the first half by the Indians of Adair.
Absolutely, and I think Woodford's got to go into this half actually feeling good about themselves that they're only down 8. I don't think they've played very well. To me, they've played, I don't want to say selfish, but too much one-on-one basketball, and they really haven't distributed. And when they're really good, it's when they're playing together and they have assists and they're playing off one another and they're doing those types of things as a unit. And they didn't do that here in the first half. So I think Coach Brown's got to go in, sort of get their attention, tell them here's some things we got to clean up. Right now, Woodford really, and I think Woodford's got the athletic kids to handle, but Woodford has not been able to handle, especially Cochran. I mean, he's just had his way. And there at the end, Coomer, got mismatches and held his defender at bay. Woodford's got to sort of notice that and get some more pressure on their guards. I don't think Loy's done that much as their leading scorer, but Cochran's just been, to me, a man among boys in many ways. And I mean, he's been able to hit, he's hit 2 threes. He's driving. And I think between Sturgis and Starks, and I think even Jenkins could guard him. The problem with Jenkins on Cochran is then Cochran can go post up. And but outside of that, man, I'm telling you, this Adair team has looked good, and Woodford hadn't played very well. And so I'm just down to 8. I'm within striking distance, and I'm going to, for me, go in, take care of business, talk a little bit about that, and see if I can make a few adjustments. And somehow I got to get to Starks. I need his energy. I need him to sort of figure out what we're doing.
Well, I'll tell you, Starks was out here when I got here at like 11 o'clock shooting a bunch of shots up along with Jonte Jenkins, Phillip Brown, Carson Probst. But, really right now tonight, this does not look like the usual Leighton Starks that we're used to seeing. He's just something's just he looks a little bit off with whatever's going on with him
Correct.
tonight.
I agree with that. And like I said, it's about the energy to me. To me, that's a bigger deal than playing, than him scoring. I think sometimes he gets caught up that I got to score, and I really don't care if he scores or not. I need him to rebound.
I want him to rebound and defend. Rebound and defend the post.
Right.
I think that's been one of those nights, Steve, that we've been doing this together for, 4 years now?
Something like that.
And after you work with somebody for so long, we just start completing each other's sentences.
That's scary to me.
It is.
I mean, that means I've lost my ever-loving mind, right?
Well, those that have known you a long time will say that was happened a long time ago. Just saying.
I know some of them are watching here at halftime. I'm trying to get this camera on there a little.
Well, I had a viewer text me just a minute ago and asked me if the cameraman had been drinking.
No, never
Okay.
have.
Well,
Never.
I know that not to be the case, but
I'm trying to get
I
it.
can understand why they asked.
I'm trying to get the cameras back on here a little bit tighter. It's giving us some fits here.
Give us the fits. I agree. It's a good day. Well, depending on who you are. If you're a Kentucky fan, North Carolina and Duke are playing, and North Carolina is leading it with a minute and a half to go in the game by 8 over Duke. You know, it's kind of funny. Everybody wants to talk about Kentucky fans being this way or that. It's kind of funny because they are talking about, Cal and all this stuff. Well, you got your team. I can't remember who the coach, Kyle, what's the coach at Duke? He played for Duke, and I can't remember.
Schuyler.
Who?
Schuyler, isn't it?
Shire, yeah, John Shire. He played, he's got his team ranked 7th in the country, and they're talking about he's on the hot seat. Go figure.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would consider what he's doing on the hot seat, but
Yep, that's what they're saying.
I know they're used to them winning, and so for them not to be winning is a problem, obviously.
Obviously.
So I think I may have figured out what we're doing here. I'm like, dare you.
We're at halftime here. Woodford County trailing 30-22. Now, Adair shot the ball pretty well in that first half and took care of the basketball pretty well. So if you're an Adair fan watching here online, you know that your team played pretty well in the first half. And I was talking to some fans down here, and they were saying we would probably be too big for them. But, size can hurt you when you have a team that has shared the basketball as well as Adair County has in the first half here. Let's talk a little bit about Jack Kane Ford on US 60 here in Versailles, just outside the Bluegrass Parkway on your way to Lexington. Just a lot of car dealerships tell you this and they tell you that and they don't deliver. Well, the good news about Jack Kane Ford is they tell you they give great service no matter if it's in the car part where you're going to buy a car, whether it be used, pre-owned, or what they call their back road Joes. Or if you go to the service department and get some service there, whether it be the quick lane or the total service department, they do what they say they're going to do. So they don't give you lip service. They just practice the word service every day. And they're the 5 consecutive time National Dealership of the Year, according to Carfax.
Wow.
That's pretty solid.
That's impressive.
Pretty solid.
I think to the best of our ability, we got this camera somewhat functioning. And
Well, if you've ever seen a monkey doing a math problem, that's what was going on next to me just a minute ago.
oh my God!
And I hope the people down in Campbellsville, down in Adair County, are enjoying the broadcast because I can tell you, folks, we are this way all the time, not just tonight.
Oh my goodness! I appreciate the encouragement.
You're very much welcome.
I'm trying to do really about 3 things at once.
Well, you can't walk, talk, and do bubble gum either. So
But I'm trying. I'm giving my best effort.
Well, there you go. It happens. And the top 25 is taking a beating tonight as far as teams ranked higher. We have a top 20 matchup down in Waco tonight. Baylor leads Iowa State about midway through the first half by 4. Number 17, Utah State goes down tonight. Number 25, TCU went down tonight. Number 23, Oklahoma lost. Number 4, Houston lost.
Yeah, but
I know.
they lost at
Allen
Kansas.
Fieldhouse.
And that's a big, that's just a big, we talked about that in the previous game.
But number 15, Texas Tech went down tonight. So there you go. Hey, got a question. And if you're an Adair fan, Bryan State, whoever's still listening and watching the game tonight, if you know my number, text me. If you know my email, go ahead and email me. What do you think about Mark Pope and BYU telling his students to take the shirts off that said horns down when Texas was in Provo the other night?
Didn't see that.
Yeah, they did. He had them. He said, "We are better than that. You take the shirts off or you'll be escorted out of the building."
Well, I know why he played here. Mark had some principles, and that's obviously something he believed in.
I agree, but what do you think?
I don't get into all the. I don't like some of the antics. I think one of the places that's a fun place to watch that I think their student bodies most of the time is Arizona State.
Right.
They got the curtain, and they fool around with those students, but I think they do usually in good humor.
Yep.
And sometimes, like I said, they take it too far. I think students mean well at times, but I don't like all the banner that goes on sometimes. Let's keep things to me respectful and.
Well, Texas, when you come to the SEC, look out. just to warn you.
Yeah, wait till you
go down to Auburn.
Yeah, go to Florida.
There you go. South Carolina even. Adair's basketball to start the second half. They lead 30-28, and then Lloyd just takes the young freshman to school. He came back in to touch the basketball. It was 2-on-none break. Cochran comes back. That should have been basket interference as he slapped the backboard.
Absolutely. They don't call that anymore.
Nope. And a foul on Asher.
Coach Offit's up saying, man, we just told you at halftime, no fouls.
Yeah. He was also saying you got to call the basket interference. Basket did a swaying motion, and they usually call that. And
I'm not quite sure why that's gone away as a call. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I tell you, they're talking to the coach or the official, and he's like, I didn't see it. Well, you didn't see that backboard swaying like that? They do not call that anymore. And back in the day, and Steve and I are showing our age, they used to call that right now as a technical foul.
Yeah.
And the basket.
Yeah. Anytime you touch the backboard.
Now they allow them to smack the backboard. And
they broke people a habit because some guys would go in and shoot a layup and smack the backboard just to sort of show what they were capable of doing.
Right.
And it got you in trouble. So
yeah.
But Woodford needs to stop. I see that, to me, they're a little out of sync here.
Big time out of sync. That was a timeout from Coach Breeze, though, of Adair County. He saw something he didn't like. Here's Cochran out deep, pulls up from 14, right side, no good. Long rebound garnered by White. Back to Cochran. In the corner, here's Lloyd for 3, yes.
He got his feet set quick, didn't he?
You give any team with good shooters an extra shot after an offensive rebound, they got to give that to Starks. He is absolutely working his tail off. Missed the shot.
Got to finish that one.
Now you called for it and you worked it. And you got a shot. Here's Loy. Yes.
He thought,
Woodford in danger right now. Down 14.
and you saw him. Lloyd was measuring that up at about 2 steps across midcourt.
Right.
And so he dribbled into rhythm, and that's a good shot for a shooter.
Here's Starks 3 straight away.
I'm letting him shoot that all night.
I would too if I'm Adair. That's not his shot. That's not his game. Here's Lloyd. And Adair really here's White with a big dagger right now. No. Rebound on the backside and a foul on Coomer. Jackets catch a break. Somebody across the way in the Woodford County section hollering at his ball club as a fan saying, boys, wake up.
Yeah.
Because right now you're in a dangerous area, down 14 with 6:12 to play in the third. Here's Jenkins to Wade. Boy, Woodford's just. Wade pulls up for 3. Back rim, no. And nobody going to the glass. And now a foul on Wade for reaching in. You're looking for who? That's the second foul on Wade, the second on the Jackets here in the third quarter. Both teams with 2 fouls. Peters getting ready to check in. I'm thinking for Wade. Here's a 3 by Lloyd. That was a heat check. That was contested 3.
It was. It looked like it was going.
Yep. I look over, Coach Breeze threw his hands out saying, why?
Well, I think he feels like he could get that about any time. And
Yep.
so it's what we call forcing the offense, which I don't need to do.
5.5 to play. Here goes Joyner down the lane. And a charging foul. I have seen more charging fouls in this day of basketball than I have seen in the last 5 years. 3 on Woodford now in the quarter.
And I don't like it.
I don't either.
Because he's so far underneath the basket. And
that's why I think you'll see that arc eventually.
I do eventually, I do. Because I do think there comes a time, for me about as much as anything, it's about safety. Because he really can't do anything.
Right. This is in the front court. Challenge shot by Sturgis. Here come the Jackets. Off to Jenkins. Put it up. Too strong. Rebounded by Sturgis. Missed the shot and the foul. And Amari Joyner down holding his right leg. I don't know if it's a cramp or if it's an ankle. Looks like a cramp. Or did he get banged knees? He's coming up limping.
Yeah, I'd let him walk it off.
Yeah. Crowd hollering that he's hurt, but Joyner is up and moving, and the officials don't think he says he's fine, but let's see what Coach Brown does. Coach Brown's looking right at his player, and he knows his guys more than anybody else does. Now the official's going to have him, or the trainer down for Adair County. It is a trainer down for Adair County. Now, we've got fans over here to the left
That's
screaming
Cochran.
and hollering. Is that Cochran down?
Yeah.
That might be a big loss for the Indians.
He acts like that he's cramping.
That could be a definite tough one. Now we've got Wade back in replacing.
You got a bench warning
On who?
on Woodford.
Who gave that? The nearby side official?
This guy right here.
Well, he was down. He was over here talking to Woodford a while ago.
Somebody kept barking.
Uh,
And I don't know if it's the bench or some people behind the bench, but
somebody.
that's why you don't like fans sometimes, especially home fans sit behind your bench.
Yeah. 36-22, Adair by 14 with 4:50 to play. Cross court, and Asher read that one.
Yeah, you can't make that pass.
That's a tough pass. Here's Wade. Lost control of it. Peters in the right corner. No. Rebounded by Harden for Adair.
Woodford just can't buy a basket right
No,
now.
they couldn't throw a rock in the ocean, stand in the middle of it right now. You let that one go, huh?
Yeah, it was.
Lloyd?
That's a smart move.
Boy, I tell you, he just took the freshman to school there.
That's just a smart move.
Third foul on Thurman Wade. Woodford County could really use right now some kind of energizing player to come off the bench. And what's even worse is your heart and soul is still sitting over here with us with a cast on his hand. In comes Phillip Brown replacing Thurman Wade.
Yeah, Santonio adds a different perspective to this game.
Yeah. Lloyd missed both free throws. And the thing is, he may not score a ton of points, but he just gives you that calmness, that leadership that you need. Boy, he took 3 steps.
He walked like
Lord,
7
have mercy. No excuse for this crew because they've
fresh crew.
Yeah, fresh group. This group hadn't refereed today. Sturgis back out to Brown. 3. Got it. That breaks a huge drought for Woodford County. Matter of fact, I think it's the first points of the second half for the Jackets. 36-25. Loy into front court to McGuffin. I'm sorry, that's Gilbert. Down low, Loy missed a shot. Rebounded, put up in the end by Burton. Right now, Adair just killing the Jackets on second shots.
Which hurts because Starks is on the bench, but
you've got nothing out of him tonight.
No, the rebounding and the energy. I'm telling you, I'm trying to find Brown again. I mean, he's hit one, but he's a kid that could get going pretty quick.
And a foul on Coomer. That's that foul we talked about in one of the earlier games. It doesn't matter if it totally affected the play or not. 9 times out of 10, the player goes down like that, they're going to call it a tripping foul.
Absolutely.
13-point lead. Here's a steal by Coomer. That bad pass by Brown. I mean, that had no shot at going anywhere. And Adair just right now putting the clamps down on Woodford County. Down low to Coomer, laid it in, and they're getting things at the rim. 40-25.
This is one of the things that happens to Woodford when they get stagnant and they go on these. They've done this before. They go on these scoring droughts, and Adair's gone to a 1-2-2.
Jenkins way off. Asher grabbed the rebound, and boy, Woodford's just like they're playing in mud. And Adair's quicker to the basketball. They were 50-50 ball. They've won tonight.
Well, and they're Woodford not making a great decision on their passing.
Lloyd from the left elbow, bingo.
Wow.
And it is starting to get a little ugly.
That's a pretty nice move.
Yep. Brown, deep 3, yes.
That's why I said I got to find him.
42-28, but you need a little bit. You need right here is where it needs to pick up on the defensive end. Into front court to Gilbert. Drives baseline, and
wow,
boy, they are getting right to the rim.
I thought he was going to throw out here to this corner.
Foul. That should have been probably a carry. I haven't seen him call a carry of the ball in 15 years. Have you?
It's a long time.
And it coincided with that and one mixtape stuff. Starks comes back in.
I'm thinking right now, unless something happens, and I'm going to try to get, no matter what happens with fouls, I'm going to try to get Starks going.
He missed an easy one again. He goes back and gets it. Back to Brown. Brown fakes, drives baseline, all the way through to the other side. Now to Peters. Peters can't get his shot off to Jenkins. All the way to the glass, put it up, count it. Nope, that comes out of there.
That's one time. I like the drive by Jenkins, but you also had Brown that time on the wing.
And Burton came down on his backside. And he got the foul, too. He got his leg caught on Jenkins as Jenkins extended to shoot the ball, and Burton got the double whammy. He got the foul, and came up a little gimpy. Cochran jogs back out here. I think he may have turned his ankle. He went and got his ankle retaped. And Jenkins, good night. I would not like to see what Woodford County is shooting from the floor tonight or the foul line.
Yeah, they just they haven't been in sync, and that's what I say right now. I'm not worried about Starks and his fouls. I'm worried about getting him going.
That one looked a little bit better, but it's 15-point
Foul.
deficit and a foul on Jenkins.
I didn't need that one.
Nope. Both teams now in the double bonus.
Mosey down here. And this can make a long game.
A long night. It's been a long day already. Boy, hits the first. And I tell you what, Woodford flopped one 5th region team for another. Adair's the number 1 team in the 5th region right now.
Sort of see why.
Yep.
So
And the
Cochran's
4th
back,
region, I'm sorry, is Bowling Green.
Cochran's back in.
They'll let him play through that tender ankle. 17-point lead as Starks turns. Still nothing. They're going to call that off of Barden.
I don't like the fadeaway. I like Asher's hustle.
I'm not sure he didn't get by with a foul. They lob it out to Brown. Deep 3. Bingo.
I'm telling you, you got to find him right now.
He's feeling it.
Yeah, and he believes he can hit it. That's the biggest difference.
That was a deep 3. That was from the red line of the volleyball court. 46-32. Woodford down 14. Cochran with that freshly taped ankle.
I don't think they'll hold it for one, but
Yeah,
they're going to have to get something.
We've said that before. Here's near steal by Peters. Loy gets around him here in the corner to Barden for 3. No. Backside rebound by Asher. Ahead to Jenkins. He'll drive down, lay it in.
That's a big deal.
Down to 12. Cochran inbounds to Barden, and Barden and Jenkins, they're going to call Jenkins away from the ball. They're going to call a hack on the wrist. That was actually a hip check.
Again, I don't know why.
I don't either. I mean, Barden was going away from the ball, and the ball was coming in over here to the right. And Woodford they just seem totally out of sync in general. Free throw good by Barden. This team is an excellent foul shooting team, 74% as a team. That'll win you a lot of close games. He hits both.
I think they're going to be in a 2-3 tandem front here, so you can come up and put a little pressure, waste time. But they're going to fall back into this 2-3.
48-34, with the County down 14.
And I'd be hunting. I'd run something to give Brown a shot.
Here goes Jenkins. Back to Asher. Here's Brown. Fakes, drives around, put it up, and a blocking foul
Right
on
call.
Barden.
That's
on
the right
Coomer.
call.
Yeah.
Again, it's Brown's ability to shoot the ball that allowed that to actually happen. And they got to keep hunting him.
Brown's free throw is good. By my count, that's 10 for Brown off the bench.
I'm just telling you, his mindset is different right now. He believes he can score. He's shooting with confidence. He's got a nice stroke anyway.
Yep, he hit both. That's the end of the third quarter. Woodford County in need of a comeback. They trail by 12 as we head to quarter number 4. we want to talk about some things that going on around the area. Well, how about what's going on in Woodford County in general? James Kay and the Judge Executive Office has done a fantastic job of getting things together where things used to not happen. We're getting a lot of stuff in here. And Amari Joyner coming limping back out, now jogging on the floor. So Woodford County getting up a little banged up, and this is about the time of the year when all these little nagging injuries start to occur.
Well, you're getting into the end of the season, and all of a sudden things begin to mount up. You're a little tired, and just small things mount up, and you also get in these little droughts or times of just seasonal funk where you just don't do what you're supposed to do, and Woodford's sort of in there right now.
And they are so young without Santonio Wade on the floor at the guard position, because you got Peters, who's a freshman. Brown was a sophomore. Brown?
Yeah.
I had played a lot on the varsity level. You've got Jenkins, who's a junior, played a lot last year. You got Thurman Wade is a freshman. So you've got a lot of inexperience in the backcourt.
Brown's actually a junior.
Yep, okay. He's come along. Here he is to let one fly. Yes. And he got it down to 9, 48-39.
But you see how he didn't hesitate. He just caught and shot.
Well, right now, that basket, is it 48? It should be 48. Is it 48-36?
It's huge right now for him.
It looks like it is 39. That's what I thought. Scoreboard operator a little slow on the draw here. If it wasn't for Phillip Brown, the Jackets would be in major, major trouble. They're in trouble as it is, but they would be pretty much out of this thing if it wasn't for Phillip Brown. Goes back door, he gets a hand on it. Does Brown? Loy sparks it up in the end.
He's just patient.
Yep. And he moves well without the basketball.
Yeah, even though he's a guard, he's patient.
Jenkins down the lane. That's a charge.
I don't know why you can't see that.
Nope. That's 4, I believe, on Jenkins. Player control foul. That's his 3rd. But I tell you, this team, I told you they were well coached. I watched them play last night online against Campbellsville at home. And I'm telling you, they just are very well coached and fundamentally sound. Here's Brown gets a tip on the ball, and it's a good call. That's a good call. Brown got a hand on it, deflected it. Wade's going to come in replacing Asher. They try to get more pressure on the basketball with 4 guards and Leighton Starks. Boy, 11-point Adair County lead. Boomer down low to Cochran, and a foul on Peters, who had gotten caught on a switch.
Well, and the deal is, man, he gets him, and then Cochran knows that. And he gets smart, and he posts up. He wants the ball, and he's calling for the ball.
Second foul of the quarter on Woodford County. I hate these. They go down low on the block to Cochran. Jenkins.
Nice move.
Yeah, that was a nice move. Jenkins, if you're going to dig down from the guard spots, you got to stay there. You can't just halfway come up there and then just let it go. You got to really go down there and dig at the basketball.
Yeah. You can't let Cochran's comfortable because he's got Peters on him. You can't let him remain comfortable. That's one of the reasons you go dig. And that was a token dig.
Peters talking to somebody on the end of the bench. And that pass airmailed to the corner by Jenkins. Boy, just Woodford just out of sorts. But here's the thing: we can say Woodford's out of sorts. I think a lot of it's got to do with what Adair's doing to him defensively.
I think some of it's defensively, but I think the big deal is on the offensive end. They've been able to get what they want. Woodford's used to their pressure causing troubles and turnovers, and Adair takes care of the ball really well. and they don't panic on some of these trap. And as I say that,
Yeah,
they
they were
turn
trying
it
to go
over.
into Cochran. Here's a pass down to Starks for a two-hand slam.
And maybe
You're down 11 now, though, with 5:56 to play.
just
That
maybe,
might wake him up.
yeah, maybe that gets him going. And Woodford's in there 2-1-2.
They use Cochran to really come back here with Loy. To Cochran. They cut him off right here. Rotation was not very good. Grant now to Loy. Loy backs it out on the dribble. And Cochran and Starks get into it. And I tell you what, I thought they both were guilty.
Well, I was going to say,
I thought they both were guilty. They both were mixing it up, both throwing forearms at each other.
To me, that's where you call them both
You
in and say, listen.
you either call them together and have it just stop playing. See, Cochran's now leaning on Starks as he goes wherever. This is Loy working on Asher. Bounces down low to Coomer, laid it in. Boy, that pass, how that got through there, I have no idea. Loy knocked the ball away.
That's close.
Yep. That's Grant, excuse me.
Well, that teaches you what we've been talking about before is a bounce pass does so many things in a game.
Well, it's so much better. But you got to pick the right time, too.
If you throw a chest pass there, that ball doesn't get through.
Here's Peters.
And I think Brown's been out of the game long enough that I got to have him back in.
I agree.
I know he
Joyner blocked by Grant. Saves it back into Coomer. And that is all hustle. Boy, Grant, Adair's just showing right now, putting on a clinic. Cochran. Boy, I tell you. This is a clinic on team basketball.
Yeah, Woodford's got to sort of get a little something rolling here. That's
Here's
why I'd
Wade.
like to see Brown.
In the corner to Wade for three. Back rim, no. Joyner going to be called for the foul.
But that's good penetration by Asher there. Nice kick. Wade just missed his shot. It was a good shot. And
That's the fourth on the Jackets in this quarter as White and Grant come out. Barden and Gilbert in for Adair.
so Woodford's gone full court man-to-man. I thought they might jump. That's what I thought.
Lloyd did a nice job of handling it. Cochran lost it. Still loose. Cochran picks it up, and a timeout at Adair County.
Good hustle by Wade. And they about had that turnover.
Indians in control, though, Steve.
They are. But again, you're seeing some of that.
The youth.
The youth of Woodford, but some of the experience of Adair County coming in. I mean, you got Cochran as a junior. You got Coomer's a junior.
Yeah, they're junior heavy-laden.
Yeah.
You know,
But I think they've been playing together for a couple
long
of years.
time, yeah.
And gotten some high school experience. Sort of what we were talking about the Woodford girls. I mean, you're
Yeah.
about to soon here. Man, they're going to be juniors, and all of a sudden you see what that does when you are a junior and you got 2 and 3 years of varsity experience. Whereas the game right before this, we talked about how Bryan Station was playing sophomores and juniors, and many of them may not have had but 1 year of varsity experience. It just changes what
if
you
that,
are.
yeah, if that.
And so that's where youth sort of comes into play. And like you said, to me, you're seeing more and more of sort of the importance of Santonio Wade for Woodford as well.
A huge factor because he's the guy, he's the glue. He's the one that keeps all the youngsters' heads on straight. In and out by Barden in the corner, rebounded by Wade. Ahead to Joyner, who's got to run the point right now. Brown is at the scorer's table to check in.
What I'm a little surprised of is how much
Jenkins no good, rebounded by Cochran.
Woodford's defense has allowed Adair to get into the lane.
And, I mean, it has been a ton of times in the lane, and it's just been.
And that's not typical of Woodford.
Not of a Jerron Brown coach team, that's for sure. Boyd down the lane, hangs, blocked by Asher, into the hands of Starks. Starks, right-hand layup, got it.
That's really one of the first really good defensive stance by Woodford. I thought Joyner played good D on Lloyd, forced him.
That looked more like the Leighton Starks we saw earlier in the year,
Yeah.
as well as drop
Good
down
pass.
to Boy, I tell you what. They have gotten to where they wanted to in every possession tonight.
Yeah, just about every gamble Woodford's done and paid off. And sometimes their gambles pay off, so it covers up some mistakes they make. But
Right.
this team here has handled the ball and the pressure that Woodford's put on them sometimes.
Yeah, they are too talented for Woodford to gamble. This is a lesson to a young team. Good position, physical defense, and a foul coming up on Gilbert. He rolled over that ankle of Joyner, that injured left ankle.
But I think this is good for Woodford moving forward. You got to learn what it's going to be like, what teams are going to try to do, those types of things. And I'm trying to get ready for the postseason.
Yeah.
I've talked about that all day today about for some teams this game really doesn't matter. And for me, this game doesn't necessarily matter. It's a teaching, it's a learning tool for me.
Yep.
As I try to get ready, I need this team to be ready to roll come
Peters
district
for
time.
three out of the corner, good. But I will tell you this, if you're Coach Jerron Brown and his staff, you can go back to this game film and say, okay, from this point on, this is the way we want you to look as we go through the remainder of this season. You've got a team here that we can learn a lot from in Adair County. This shows you when you share the ball, become unselfish, move without the basketball, have good player spacing, things happen good for your ball club.
Well, it happens good for Woodford when they do it.
Yeah.
And they've shown that before in the season. So I'm just reminding them, here's when we're good, and here's when we're not so good. And to me, that makes a huge difference. But that's where we've talked about the leadership of Santonio Way, trying to get them going, and keeping them as a core group and as a unit. And so I'm just going to remind my team, you got to get back to what we're capable of doing. Good
Here's a steal by
Jenkins.
Jenkins. Down the lane. Backs up. Yep.
Got away with a walk.
Travel.
But you know what? That's good for him. He struggled today. He played good defense, and he got a score.
Minute 57 to play. They're down 10. Last time the Jackets scored in the 40s, it was an opening season win over Danville Christian. Steal by Asher all the way down, laid it up and in.
So you've got a little fight in Woodford coming here. And their defense have actually picked up, and they've done a jump and run. Oops, sorry.
Cochran for 15. Nice touch straight
Yep.
away. Stops a nice little run. Minute 20 to play.
And I like the fact that Woodford's made a little run here.
Jenkins for three, yes. Timeout Woodford County, 60-53. Jackets within 7. That's a full timeout for Woodford County. Coming up for the Jackets after tonight. Listen to this week's schedule next week. Tuesday at Bourbon County. Wednesday right here back at home against Lafayette. Friday night against Douglas in Lexington. And then back home here on Saturday night against Harrison County.
Yeah,
That's your next week. 4 games next week.
And we've seen Harrison, so we know what they got coming in.
Jackets beat Harrison earlier this year by 17.
Yeah.
They split with Douglas, a 1-point loss to Douglas in the Billy Hicks Classic over at Scott County. Then they turn around about a week and a half later, knock off Douglas and Lexington Catholic for the 3rd place trophy in the Catholic Holiday Tournament by 10. So this will be the rubber match for 2024. And we're not the only team that has played Douglas 3 times this year. They could play them 4. Bryan Station's playing them 3 times as well. Cochran.
I think he walked.
I thought he did too, but
I can't keep up.
yep. Comer with the lay-in and the basket.
That's huge.
Yep. Well, Woodford put pressure on it, and I tell you what.
I thought he got away with a shuffle down there.
I did think Cochran did. I truly did. That's the first on Asher. Or, excuse me, on Brown. Coomer will try to complete the three-point play.
I'm fine with the hustle there and the pressure Woodford's put on.
Back out to 10, just like that, with a minute 2 to play.
We got to score quick. You can't play around.
Jenkins will pick up the basketball, cross court here. As Peters in the corner, Asher will drive down, laid it in, and a lot of contact after the fact. Boy, I tell you, both teams, loose ball, and Starks comes in, and it looked like a fumble on the football field. Peters got on the floor as well after the loose ball.
I will say that Cochran has struggled with the pressure here lately.
He's brought the ball up quite a bit tonight against pressure. Starks will be guarding the inbounder, Cochran. 64-55, 47 and a half seconds to play. Offensive foul on Grant.
21, didn't he? Oh, yep.
You looked like he took both hands, and the officials were all three close by to watch. Greg took both hands just to discard Coomer.
Woodford's got to get a quick basket.
Peters lost control of it, and a foul on Brown. That was, again, Woodford dribbling the basketball way too much.
And Adair's going to shoot free throws.
Now you're putting Loy at the line for 2.
I think he's about 70-something.
He is on the year 75%. This team, again, shoots 74% as a team, as opposed to Woodford County's 66.5%.
Yeah, and he's missed his couple of free throws early on.
Agreed. He hit center with this one. 65-55. They are such a good free throw shooting team. They put nobody on the line. That's not an end of the game thing. They've done this all night. Ahead to Brown. He pulls up, lets 3 go. No, not this time. Too strong. Didn't shoot it in rhythm. Cochran. Long pass ahead to Coomer, who lays it in.
Just a good hard pass from Cochran.
Just shows the experience. He looked up, saw nobody around Coomer. Jenkins, deep 3, short. Coomer rebounds. And Adair's going to put it in the pocket. They come in here and knock off the host Yellow Jackets. Tell you what, I'm impressed with this Adair County team. And I will tell you, they are right now the number 1 team in Region 5, but breathing right down their neck. They go to now 18-3 on the year. Woodford County drops to 16-4 on the season. And coming up for the next week for Adair County, they have a pair of back-to-backs, a Tuesday night at Central Hardin and the following night on Wednesday at Metcalfe County. Then they go back to action on the 9th at home against Marion County and on the 10th against Barron County. So they've got an interesting trip down there. They own a victory this year over defending 5th region champion Elizabethtown, 71-57. So shows you what kind of region they've got, but they've already owned a victory over the defending region champ.
Yeah. They give Cochran, I think
you could have taken Cochran or Lloyd.
Yeah, you get a point toss that one.
Yeah. Cochran got him off to the rip-roaring start, though. I think he had the first 7 of 9 points.
And he was a little ineffective after he got hurt. Tweaked his ankle, whatever happened. on that, but
Yep.
Woodford just never ever.
No, correct me on that. Actually, Woodford now drops to 17-5 on the year. 17-5.
Yeah, they just didn't ever got in sync, and a couple of their losses has been without Wade, and
Right.
so I'm not gonna. I mean, as a coach, you're never coming out saying, "Well, what if?" or "We would be better if."
Right.
I'm trying to teach my kids that you always got to be ready to play. You always got to do what the game plan is. I don't
Right.
think tonight, based on what I've seen or watched before with Coach Brown and this team, did they play? They didn't play this with the same intensity. Now, again, I give credit some to Adair
Looked
County.
a little flat, didn't he?
They did. And to me, that's where a Santonio Wade can have conversations because he plays hard, and he's an energy guy, and so it always comes better from your players than your coach lots of times to get a team fired up. And so, no matter how hard he wants to try when he's not playing, it just doesn't mean the same. And so, to me, that plays a role in what Woodford's doing. But again, I'm not worried about this game. As a Coach Brown, what I'm worried about is Starks not owning the boards, doing the things that he's really skilled at. He jumps well. He gets off the floor well. He usually gets in the right position. And I think the last 2-3 games we've watched, he's in some ways tried to do more offensively than he's really had to do. When his rebounding and his position can change an entire game sometimes. And that's what I'd like to see him get back to. I mean, that's when he's effective. And he's fun to watch, and, he's capable. I think tonight, if I'm going to bring a plus out of this, I got Brown that comes in and, I think missed 1-3 tonight, hit his free throws, played with some confidence. And that tells me, man, going forward, hey, I got a shooter. I got a shooter I can rely on because he wasn't afraid tonight, which means, and I'm talking to Jenkins, I'm talking to Smith, and I'm saying I need y'all to get into the lane. You got to find him. Brown is not a kid that's going to create his own shot. He needs somebody to help him. He likes to catch off the pass.
Yeah.
And he showed that here at the end when he dribbled in. Now, you can dribble into a three. We've seen that, like Lloyd did, and be in rhythm. But you also got to set yourself up. It's hard for kids to do that just on the stop of on a dime like Brown tried to do over there. All of a sudden, okay, they're not going to guard me. Boom, I'm going up. Whereas Lloyd anticipated and planned, I'm going to shoot. They're not guarding me. I feel good. I'm going to let it fly. And so his whole prep to that shot was to get in rhythm. And Brown didn't do that. All the other times, and he's catch spot on, in rhythm, and he's a really, really good shooter.
Right.
And I don't think Woodford necessarily did good enough trying to find him when he got hot.
Agreed.
Open enough shots. But again, like we talked about, when Woodford is really good is when they're sharing the ball and they're always looking for another teammate.
Right.
And tonight, I wouldn't just clump it in as being selfish. What I would say is that they tried to create their own shot too much. And because of that, you got less assists, you got 4 shots, and then there's no winner. Plus, made baskets allow you to get into your press. And I think Woodford wanted to press a little bit more than they did tonight, but they just couldn't. They just couldn't get into it. They didn't shoot the ball well. That gets in your head. But this team typically has somewhat been motivated by their defense. And that's what went missing tonight. And so I think Coach Brown, Coach Albert, and the staff, and they're going to have chats with him about that. That's what they're going to practice on. But I got a couple of weeks. I'm moving forward. I already see some of the staff coming out. I don't need to have a long conversation, man.
No.
They know. They know what they're supposed to do. And 2 weeks from now, I think you're going to see a different team because in some ways this team reminds me of teams in past that have done well in the postseason like they did last year, and they get bored. They just get bored going through a season because they know, well, it doesn't really matter until 2 weeks from now. And then all of a sudden, now some teams can't do that. But I believe that Wade's coming back. Joyner's got ice on his ankle. He's going to get 2 weeks. I mean, you got ankle injury usually, and it don't seem too bad he walking. So
Tell you what, the best way to take the soreness out, wrap it up in brown paper bag and soak it in vinegar. It'll take the soreness out and make your foot smell for about a month. But
yeah, well, probably some of them boys, their feet stink anyway, so
That's
that's not
true.
really going to matter. But
that's true.
But you're going to get healthy. You potentially got everybody being healthy, ready to roll. And then the season starts for them in their mind.
Right.
And I think you're going to see a different group coming out. And, it was a special run last year. And so sometimes you got to work through that as a coach and as a team, that was special. And it's hard to repeat it. It
Right.
takes, and you hear teams that do it, that repeat championships or repeat things. They talk about the work. And the hardest thing is the mental part
Right.
of saying, man, I'm going to battle. I made it where I did last year. Well, how'd they do that? Well, they just outworked most people.
Right.
And so anyway, I'm really not that concerned at this moment.
You got to get over the mental hangover this may cause. That's the issue. You got handled pretty easily on your home floor tonight. So, you're looking at that, and I'm not saying anything negative towards the team because I think this team has the potential to get back to Rupp Arena in March.
Absolutely.
However, you've got to avoid the mental hangover that this may cause because you have a young team. You don't have Santonio Wade in practice. Now, he's there at practice every day, but he's not participating.
Yeah.
He's there
It's
on
different.
the sideline talking with his teammates and things. But here's the thing. It can linger. You don't want this loss tonight to turn into 2, 3, or 4 losses in a row. You got a tough schedule coming up. I mean, Harrison County's a solid team. Woodford handled it pretty easy in Lexington Catholic.
And they're going to remember that.
Yeah, they're going to remember that. That's for sure. You got Douglas coming up on Tuesday night. That's going to be a war in itself. That is round 3 of this battle between Douglas and Woodford County. And then you got, I forgot the other one in there. There's a couple more.
Well, but I think the deal is what we've seen is it's just like in timeouts. Coach Brown and his staff always come up with good sets.
Yeah.
And to me, this is a timeout. And then can we turn around and, to me, just get back to playing the game like we're capable of playing. And I believe with Coach Brown, that starts defensively. And for me, if I want to talk about tonight, the frustration part or the disappointing part was the fact that the defense that I'm accustomed to watching Woodford play was not there. The offense happens all the time, but they get fed a lot off of defense, and it never really, except there for little spurts. And if you notice, when those spurts happen,
they come in big bunches.
Man, all of a sudden they started scoring, and they played freer. And I felt like they forced things most of the night. So, again, I want to learn. I'm not going to make a big deal about this because I know I got bigger fish to fry. And we're going to come in.
On Monday.
Yeah. You got tomorrow off. That's what I do. You come in here on Monday. I'm ready to get after it. I'm going to have a game Tuesday. So I'm not going to go hard and heavy on Monday. I'm going to get some shots up. We're going to talk about some game plans. And we're going to try to be upbeat and positive and say, man, we're moving forward. And I've got a date circle that says, man, this is when our season starts.
Yeah, because I think the district tournament in Shelbyville at Shelby County this year I believe somebody told me it starts on that Tuesday, and I believe that's what is that?
Is it the
27th, I think.
Is it the 20th? That's 3 weeks. It's not the 20th.
Because the last regular season game is the 22nd of February, right here at home against LCA.
So that means the 27th
Yeah,
is a
so-
Tuesday would start the district
Well,
tournament.
Woodford probably won't play till Wednesday because they are the number 1 seed, even though they don't have it on the website right now. The only district tournament that's set is the 10th region. That's way down there in
Oh, yeah.
the 2nd or 3rd region. I think it's the 3rd region. So,
Trust me, our 8th region is terrible about updating.
oh my goodness, takes forever and a day, but that's okay. Well, I'd just as soon to get it right. But we do know Woodford's the number 1 seed. I think Spencer's the 2 seed, if I'm not mistaken.
And for me, the only plus is that I don't have to play them. And
Yeah.
so you're going to play a 4-5, which should be, man, that's where we think potentially Anderson and Shelby. Is that right?
On the 2 and 3?
The
No,
2 and
that'd be
3 is,
Spencer.
Spencer and Shelby.
Yeah, the 4 and 5 will be Shelby and Collins.
Oh, so Anderson stayed out of
Yeah,
there. so-
Anderson's in the 2-3 game.
Okay. So I may have to.
Anderson is
And I'm fine
1
with
and
that.
3 in the
I mean,
district.
we're better than Collins and
Shelby.
Shelby County both.
Although that game with Collins last Friday night was a humdinger.
And it's a hard place over there for
Always
whatever
is.
reason for Woodford to play. And so, I sort of look, to some degree past that. We're better than they are. It shouldn't be an issue. And we're playing to go to the region. That's what we're doing. And then, like I said, anything can happen. I think Woodford wants to get to that region. What I got to work hard at is keeping their mind focused that you got to win one game in that district. I would prefer to come out of there as a champ so that I'm playing a runner-up, and I'm staying away from North Oldham. I think North Oldham's going to come out of that other district, and
I agree. Well, it's only a 3-team district in that, so
and I'd love to stay away from them. Hopefully, they're on the other bracket, and I'm going to meet them in the finals.
well, we played them last year in the semis. We did to them what they did to us the
Yeah.
year before in the same position in the semifinals. Of course, that team last year hung its hat in the postseason on defense. They were absolutely murderous in the district tournament. Then it got a scare in the opening round from Owen County of the regional, and then they put on a clinic in the semis and the finals defensively.
Absolutely. But that is a Coach Brown team.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why, for me, I'm not concerned tonight. Let's get back to business. Let's get back to our character and do what we're supposed to do. And it'll take care of itself. It really will.
Agreed.
This team's a pretty good team. You get Wade back. I think it's going to take him a few games to get his mojo and sort of get back in rhythm again.
Agreed.
But I'm going to like that he's going to be on the floor being able to give some direction.
Agreed.
And I think he's going to be fully healed. I think that's why he's taking a little bit of time to make sure. And
Got to be sure. And that's what you want at the end of the year here.
absolutely.
Well, Woodford County falls tonight at home by 13 to a really, really good Adair County team. And don't be surprised, folks, if you look in that 5th region representative come March in Rupp Arena and you don't see Adair County's name coming out of that 5th region. Do not be surprised one bit. They are the top team in the region right now, and I believe it's between them and North Hardin. That's a familiar name that shows up quite a bit up there.
Absolutely.
Steve, thank you for joining us for 4 games today. I appreciate it. I know April was happy to get you out of the house with you.
Yeah, probably. At least Kentucky's sort of closed the gap a little bit.
It was getting ugly early there, down 11, I think, and they made a huge run to cut it to, 3?
It's 4 at halftime, and like I said, they show their youth at times.
Yeah.
And
Well, I'm getting tired of the cow bashers online. I really am. And, everybody is a coach.
oh yeah,
Everybody knows more than the guy making the decisions on the sidelines. And if you think about it, the Cats have not had their full roster the entire year.
I do, but here's what I would say somewhat about that. I know some of that's trying to take pressure off some of those guys of that conversation, but championship teams,
Play good defense.
well, they don't talk about we didn't have so and so.
Right.
They always
Next
believe
man
it's
up.
next man up,
Agreed.
and
But it helps too when you got when you got guys not playing good to be able to use that bench
absolutely.
as a deterrent to
Absolutely.
them to just throw in the towel.
So I do think some of the talk is taking pressure off of some of these young guys.
Yep.
To say, here's a reason. But I'm just saying, championship teams,
Don't make that excuse.
yeah, they move on. And
Agreed.
And again, I don't think anybody would argue over history. Calipari's strength is not X's and O's. His strength is motivation and preparation and recruiting. Those are the strengths that he has. He tries to surround himself with guys that are better at the things that which is a sign of a good leader.
I agree.
And so I think sometimes we do see that when it comes down to making, to me, quick decisions. That's not necessarily a strength of his because he's such a, I don't want to say analytics guy but he's got certain things that he's comfortable with.
Right.
It's the same thing that I would say about Patino. Patino's a big preparation guy. That's why he had videographers. That's why you talk about analytics.
Oh, boy, he analyzed everything.
I'm looking at this, this, and this. And that's why if you look at his history, Patino's, when he had a week to prepare in the NCAA, his record was like phenomenal. And when he had to turn around and play somebody quicker, his record's not near as good because he didn't have enough time really to make preparation.
With the exception of 96 and 97 when he had
I
all
still
that
go back
talent.
to the Kansas game where they got absolutely blown out.
Annihilated. Yep.
And what did he do? He did the same thing that he went in there prepared to do. And one thing that separated Patino from like the Tubby Smiths that have coached at Kentucky is Tubby was a game time coach.
And you look at the game in 98 against Duke.
And he could
make
adjustments at halftime and say, here's what we're doing.
Or do it on the fly like he did in that game against Duke.
Patino and the Caliparis are so much about prep work that you ask them to make game time adjustments. Sometimes that's hard for them because they believe and so confident. It's why they get kids to come play. My system and my stuff works.
Right.
And so I think I've seen some of that. But this is a young team, and I think we miss that sometimes. They're fun to watch. I like watching them, but they're going to lose more. And I think they learn. It's one thing last year, I don't think that team learned much.
No.
But this team, I think, learns. And we'll see what happens at the end of the year. I know there's a lot of this kid going or whatever. But I'm telling you, if this group would stick and you let all these kids come back one more year,
look out.
They'd be tough to handle.
Yeah. Well, and that's I just had to get that out, just read enough of it and everything. You see the final score on there. Woodford County falls to 17-5 on the year, losing here at home tonight.
We've solved
Adair
a lot
County.
of problems tonight.
We did. Now, if they just let us solve the problem over seas, we might be okay. Doubt it.
Oh, my
Adair
goodness.
County, the top favorite in the 5th region, comes in here tonight and knocks off the Jackets here at home. For Steve Bruce on color and for Steve Helton for joining me for Game 1 and Damon and Kelly running our cameras here tonight. Thank you for watching tonight. It has been the 3rd annual Ed Step Classic. Until next time, folks, tune in to YouTube to find out the next broadcast for Woodford County High School Athletics on the Yellow Jacket Sports Network.